I believe that her comments were racist. I have known that woman for 30 years, and I do not believe she is a racist, but what she wrote was racist.
Spokane Prosecutor Larry Haskell speaking for the first time publicly since his wife's racist comments on social media were uncovered. Good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark and Whitney are on assignment. The Spokane County prosecutor is speaking publicly for the first time since the Inlander reported on racist comments made by his wife. Larry Haskell addressed the media this afternoon to speak about her comments on social media. Our own Ian Smay was at that press conference and joins us now live in the newsroom with more details. Ian.
This is the first time Larry Haskell has spoken about his wife Leslie's racist comments since the Inlander first published that story on January 27th. He had released a written statement but hadn't actually taken questions about the posts. Leslie Haskell made the comments on the far-right social media platform Gab. She called MSNBC host Joy Reid a black woman, the N-word in one post. In another, she described herself as a proud white nationalist. Haskell apologized and called the remarks racist, but said his wife Leslie isn't racist.
I believe the comments are racist, absolutely. And as I said, they're reprehensible and they've caused a lot of pain. And I humbly apologize for them.
Haskell said he doesn't share those views and they haven't influenced his work as a prosecutor. He also said he instructs those in his office to not pursue cases based on race. Coming up at 6 tonight, we'll have more from Haskell and reaction from Spokane Human Rights Commissioner Anwar Peace. If you would like to watch his full statement this afternoon, just text us the word Haskell to 509-448-2000. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Well, not only are world-class athletes competing in the Olympics right now, but they're also competing right here in Spokane. Tonight, the podium serves as the stage for national record holders and world champions competing in several events. And it's all for the first ever Lilac Grand Prix, and it's panning out to be an event that'll put Spokane on the map. And that's where we find our own Kyle Simchuk, who is there right now. And Kyle, it sounds like they're going to be trying to break some world records tonight as well.
Well, we could see history being made in Spokane tonight. Athletes we talked to say they're just in awe over Spokane's newest sports venue.
The podium is off to a good start. Tonight's Lilac Grand Prix marks the first professional track and field competition, and athletes are thrilled with the brand new venue.
I don't think it's out of the question for this city to become not only the running indoor track capital on the West Coast, but it could rival other cities in the country too.
We train in Portland, Oregon, where it's arguably one of the coolest track facilities in the world. It's a track in the woods, and as soon as we walked into this facility in Spokane, all of our jaws were dropped. It's one of the best indoor tracks I've ever been to, if not the best.
Podium officials say they spared no details building the venue and its state-of-the-art track.
We spent so much time in the development phase, talking with other facilities, visiting other facilities, talking with coaches, just taking everyone's feedback, and that's really incorporated into this.
Spokane Sports Vice President Ashley Blake is confident this investment will benefit the local economy and the growing city of Spokane.
I think when we were designing this facility, we were looking at the sport of track and field. It typically runs from December to the first part of March. A season where tourism isn't typically strong in Spokane. That will turn into more business for Spokane, more people coming in to see the meets, to compete, spend money in our economy, and that's really the whole purpose of this facility is to generate an economic impact for the city through sports tourism.
The Lilac Grand Prix begins at $5.50. General admission tickets are under $14. They're expecting about 1,000 spectators here tonight. Reporting from the podium, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. And starting tonight, Gonzaga students braving the cold for one last tent city this season. After COVID-19 forced the cancellation of Tent City last month, students are back and ready to support the Zags. Students will spend the night in those tents tonight in order to get the best seats for tomorrow's game against rival St. Mary's. Now, this is a huge game for the Zags, and students are proving their dedication to the #1 seed basketball team. And tonight will certainly be a test in proving their dedication because it could reach below freezing for this evening. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us outside right now. And Thomas, it looks like it's going to be more than a little chilly tonight. So do you think they'll be all right camping out there.
I think they'll be all right. Those kids are usually well prepared for the winter months here in Spokane. I've seen them tent in some pretty nasty weather before, but it might get a little bit colder than expected because we have these clear skies to work with. It's awesome during the day because our highs got close to 50 again tonight, but with clear skies, we lose the heat from the surface of the earth, allowing those temperatures to get a little bit colder overall. So clear skies basically means colder mornings, but warmer afternoons. Clear skies here. It is clear from our outdoor weather center, just a few high cirrus clouds, nothing more than that. Look at how these temperatures just continue to fall and fall as we get down to about 24 degrees by 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So again, just make sure you're prepared for a slightly colder night than we've had recently. Those low temperatures well into the 20s, might even be teens just to the north of the Spokane area. So cold nights, but still mild daytime hours. We'll show you how warm the afternoon will be for this upcoming weekend and for Valentine's Day in a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you so much. Moving on to today's top stories, a developing story from last night. A Spokane man charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of his father made his first appearance today. 24-year-old Drake Hughes is accused of shooting and killing his father, Jason, at a home last night. According to probable cause documents, Hughes called the police at about 8 p.m. Documents say he told police he shot his father multiple times in the head and that he wasn't breathing. According to documents, he told police he had told his father by phone that he was going to kill him beforehand, and he took in an Uber from his home to his dad's house on North Altamont Street. Hughes is being held on a $1 million bond. His next court date is set for February 22nd. Well, many of us already know this. Our area is booming, and our ongoing Boomtown series is highlighting how rapid growth is transforming our region right before our eyes. Now, given all that, keeping up with the bills is becoming harder for low-income families. And now you've probably seen a few RVs parked around town, and it's easy to assume they're abandoned, but we decided to knock on their doors to find out. And here's who we met.
Posted up somewhere in Spokane.
I'm not sure, just alongside of the road.
This is where we found Chris Bill and his girlfriend.
My RV, place of living.
Depending on who you ask, you'll hear drastically different reactions to RVs like this one.
Hopefully we're not in this situation too long.
For Chris, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing.
There's just not too many places or, options.
After losing their jobs and falling back on rent,
Ended up, getting kicked out of our home, so.
It's been 1 month living out of this RV.
It can be a little difficult, disappointing, but, goal orientated. We'll be back there. Back on her feet in no time.
A temporary setback for Chris.
Yeah.
But for Melissa,
it's my home.
It's a step up.
It's better than freezing our butts off in a tent like we were.
A different perspective on an RV Melissa has called home for 2 years.
When you're out here, this becomes your home.
She's been homeless for 11 years.
I just got tired of paying bills, and that's the truth.
Once on the streets, getting back inside seemed impossible.
You have to have the first month's rent, and then you have to have the deposit, and then you have to have that mover's fee. Then after that, you have to also be able to make the qualifications. And I don't.
Saving up that money is hard with an RV.
Because of how old it is, it's a chore.
The RV has to be running so Melissa can move when she gets flagged by traffic enforcement.
I already had it impounded once. I just had to go do laundry. I get back and it's gone.
Neighbors report abandoned cars and RVs to the city, a system that's backed up with complaints.
The volume has certainly gone up a little bit in terms of the number of abandoned vehicles.
The city has to figure out if an RV is abandoned, the owner is just breaking a rule, or if someone is living in it.
We emphasize the rules of the road.
24-hour stay rules, no parking rules, registration rules, even if the RV is a home.
Objective is always to keep the occupant in the vehicle and to make sure it's safe for everybody.
It's a balancing act between the neighbor's perspective and the people needing a roof over their heads.
And that was Nicole Hernandez reporting. Now, we spoke to city spokesperson Brian Connington, and he explained RVs are also much harder to tow. When one breaks down and ends up abandoned, it costs about $1,000 each for the city. That's hundreds of dollars more than a regular abandoned car. And coming up at 6, we're tracking how the growing population in eastern Washington and northern Idaho is impacting the community. So we asked, how the Spokane International Airport is going to keep up with the pace. For starters, the airport's most pressing challenge was parking. Over the course of 3 years, it realigned the roadway leading into the airport, creating room for 1,900 additional spaces. The airport also added 6 more non-stop flight destinations since 2019. CEO Larry Croder told our Amanda Rowley why he hopes to add even more.
Anytime we can make it easier for someone out in the global economy to get to Spokane with one stop, we have accomplished the mission. So that's why it's so critical for us to add these flights.
What do you anticipate the airport looking like by 2040?
Be sure to join us tonight on KREM 2 News at 6 to find out what the CEO expects the Spokane Airport to look like in the very near future. Well, kicking cancer's butt with a side of flatbread, and you can actually sprinkle in a little Gonzaga on the side. The fundraiser at the Davenport tonight, hosted by an ESPN broadcaster, next.